Hi, young scholars. Mr. Moran here, and I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the Battle of Gettysburg. And Gettysburg is one of the most important battles in the American Civil War. It is for sure the largest battle that takes place. And before we start, I'd like to give you an idea of where Gettysburg is located. And you can see with the little red dot here, it's located in southern Pennsylvania. You can see Delaware, New Jersey, and Maryland. These were all states, and then of course New York over here. These were all states that stayed with the Union. But then you can see down here you have Virginia, which was part of the Confederacy. Also, side note, Maryland and Delaware, these were slave states. And try to zoom up here. You can see that Gettysburg, even today, is a small town, but back in 1863, there was about 2,000 people that lived there. They had two small colleges. Some historians call it a village. So it's very remote. But this Battle of Gettysburg, it's a 3-day battle that takes place. And over the period of 3 days, there are close to 150,000 American soldiers that converge on and around Gettysburg. Let me repeat that number, 150,000. To put this in perspective, we all know how big Dallas is. Imagine Dallas half that size, and imagine if we had 150,000 American soldiers fighting in and around Dallas. And then to put this in another perspective, understand this. At the peak of the Iraq War, we had 125,000 American soldiers in Iraq. 125,000 American soldiers in the entire nation of Iraq. But yet in Gettysburg, we had 150,000, give or take a few thousand, American soldiers. This is the reason why historians call this, and it is still the largest battle that has ever taken place in the Western Hemisphere. It is a titanic battle between the North and the South because General Lee, the head of the Confederacy, was hoping to go from Gettysburg and push up to Philadelphia or even New York. He was trying to bring, let me zoom up here so you can see this. So again, we have Gettysburg. He was hoping to invade Philadelphia or even go over to New York and bring the battle to the doorsteps of the Yankees. Because up until this time, most of the battles were taking place in places like Virginia. And so the Confederacy, they were dealing with the Yankees at their doorstep. And so the battles were mainly taking place in their backyards. In fact, I think there's only 3 times when the Confederacy actually invade Northern Territory and try to bring the battle to the Yankees' back doors. So for the Confederacy, it's mostly what we call defensive war. There's very few offensive where they're trying to invade the North. But I have a short video I want you to watch, and then also there's another video that gives you a panoramic view of the battle, and I think that gives you a better idea of just how huge this battle was and the pandemonium that was going on during the battle. And it's very difficult for you to really grasp. And I don't think as a history teacher I ever really cover the Gettysburg battle in a way that gets students to truly understand how big this battle was. I've been to Gettysburg twice. I've spent probably 3 days there in total, and I still have not seen everything. It is a huge, huge historical park, and if you ever get an opportunity to go there and visit, but you can spend weeks there. But anyways, welcome to the Battle of Gettysburg.